Makes us all sick, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on in, folks. We see you out there.
Old men grumbling. That's the show.
Old
That's
men
the
grumbling.
show.
Grumble, 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 grumble. Yeah.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. It's an ugly dog in a cape.
And burglar.
Seen
It's
the
an
clip
ugly
yet?
dog. What?
Superman bursts into Lex Luthor's office, throws some furniture about, and he says, "Where's my dog?" And he goes, "I don't know where your dog is." And he puts a coffee cup up to his nose and goes, "Ugly dog in a cape." That's from the current film, apparently. Jesus.
Totally believable.
I'm completely lost interest in all that stuff now. Just not interested in it.
Looks better than the Fantastic Four to me.
Oh,
that's just me.
Looks awful.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw a clip of that. He's got a mustache, Howard Reed, hasn't he?
Yeah,
well, it's because of the actor. He's just
they can't change Pablo's
that actor
look.
is a complete dickhead.
Well, why can't he have a shave?
Most actors are dickheads. So.
Why can't he have a shave?
He's an actor.
He's an actor.
But then, what's he called? Caesar Romero had a mustache, didn't he, in Batman in the 60s? But he always
they just put makeup over the top of it. That's
he
great.
Refused to shave. Yeah. I'm not doing that for this.
I'm not doing that. I'm an actor. Put the makeup on.
But then he was a Latin idol, so you didn't want to play with the look.
Well, he was good, wasn't he?
I look back so fondly on that stuff now. I loved it when I was a kid, and then I turned into an adolescent and a young man picking up dark Batman in the 80s, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the old series. But I've totally turned around now. I just love it.
It's great, isn't it?
It's just you got to accept it for what it is.
Yes.
It was great.
And there's so much to be said for, especially in the comics, how bizarre they got.
Yeah. It really did mirror
way off in left field.
Yeah, it really did mirror the way that Batman had gone.
Yeah,
if you think about it, it's
well, that's what happened. Captain Marvel went down. Fawcett stopped publishing, and Fawcett had all of these writers that were writing, all this bizarre. Captain Marvel talks to tigers and has a talking alligator as one of the villains and that kind of thing. They went out and instantly got hired because they were selling millions of comics at the time. When
they had to go somewhere,
they went and started writing Batman and Superman. So you got Krypto and Kryptonite and Supergirl. Supergirl's an offspring of Mary Marvel.
Yeah,
just suddenly pop here. I'm gonna pop out of a rocket. Here's a fully grown Supergirl.
Where did the dog come from in Superman? Krypto. Where did
they're
he
in
come
Superboy.
From? Superboy, yeah, but I mean, where did he come from? And the others came in little spaceships, didn't they? From
Yeah, I think he got dropped off by the Humane Society of Krypton. Want to stray. I think he's got your powers.
What's that thing in Batman? What's he called? I can never say that name. That stupid name. What's it? How do you pronounce it? Mxyzptlk.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't watch
Mr. Mxyzptlk.
No, I think I'm lost.
The little imp dude that would screw around with Superman.
And when they said his name, he disappeared or something. But everybody
get
it wrong.
No, I haven't read enough Superman. Obviously.
Well, don't read that.
Oh, no, really? Well, we're running into one of those stories, one of the first Mxyzptlk stories on Sunday on the 30s to 70s book. I'm pretty sure it's in there. Only this guy he looks a little bit different from the current version of Mxyzptlk, but they ended up using him real heavily in the 60s and 70s. He had to be tricked to say his name backwards to go back to his own dimension.
He had to be tricked to say his name backwards. Is that like that word of the day?
Exactly right. It is.
Oh my God.
And in the meantime, he was like the Impossible Man.
I was about to say the Impossible Man from the Fantastic Four. Yeah,
he's really a rip on Mxyzptlk.
Right,
only green with a pointy head.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite stories.
This guy was a gray-haired dude in a orange space suit looking thing, and
it's a space leprechaun.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, an interdimensional leprechaun,
as against a leprechaun with a gun. Yeah, which is a completely different story.
No, that's an elf with a gun.
Elf with a gun. Sorry, yeah.
Who's at the door? It's an elf with a gun.
With a gun.
The last panel of the Defenders, for anybody out there who hasn't seen it, used to run a running gag for a while that they never really explained properly, but they explained it farther up the line once they realized they hadn't explained it yet. But whenever, at the time when Gerber was writing the Defenders, he'd be in the middle of a story and he'd be stuck on wherever he was going. So he'd switch scenes for a page over to some obscure place and have people doing obscure things, and suddenly an elf with a gun pops in the end of it and shoots whoever's there. And then they'd switch back to the Defenders episode. They never
did they never explain?
It happened like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Did they ever explain the elf with a gun?
No, Gerber left.
It just left.
Gerber left. And David Anthony Kraft come in, never mentioned it for like 50 issues until they realized enough people were complaining, hey, you never explained the elf with a gun. Well, we'll make something up, you know. That's pretty much the story on that one. But in the meantime, when I was reading it as a kid, that was fantastic because you were going through each story, and sometimes there were 2 or 3 issue stories looking for that elf. So I know that elf's going to show up somewhere.
Sounds like great fun.
And then the last time I think the elf was shown, it was in the middle of a Defenders story, and it involved a protest. And one of the women escaped from the Defenders by jumping into the bathroom. And she goes and opens up one of the bathroom stalls, and there's the elf with the gun. Blam. Anyway, folks, hey, come on in. It's Comics by Night. We're going to run the opening and have more fun. Here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
Hey, everybody, come on in. We see you out there. Thanks for being up this early in the morning or early afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Marvi says, greetings. Kane is one of my favorite artists. I'll catch you later on the replay. Do you have comics by Ross Andrew, Randy? That would be a great show, too. Got to go. Have a great weekend. Marvi, the reason we're looking at Gil Kane covers today is because he ran across a copy of Daredevil, won a copy of Daredevil in an auction, I believe. And the cover was just great, just fantastic. It was. Let me pull that up here. I got this on the file here. He bought a copy of Daredevil with
Who's he?
Marvi did.
Oh, Marvi did. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, got this.
Oh, right, in the chat. Yeah. He was in the DMs. Yeah. Nice.
It's such a great cover, and I'm like, man, Gil Kane's got a lot of really cool looking covers like this, and
it's almost an homage to the Wally Wood Daredevil one, isn't it? With the Submariner, is it 7?
Yeah.
With that backward flip.
A lot of it, yeah.
You've got to see the hero's face, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. This story was amazing, though, because it was whoever wrote it, you know, knowing the Daredevil character. And it had the chameleon running through it, and Torpedo at the time was the second banana type character. At one of my favorites. There was a whole group of characters during this period that they used very sparingly that were really fun, real hot, and that they never did anything with, or if they did, I wasn't aware of it afterwards. I think they ended up changing this guy out for his daughter, and who knows what they ended up doing. But it was a guy who had a suit that he could fly real fast with. And they end up getting involved with the chameleon, and the chameleon keeps trying to run away from Daredevil, and Daredevil's tracking him down because he can hear his heartbeat. So it didn't matter what outer, disguise chameleon was using. He knew which one the chameleon was by following his heartbeat. So chameleon's freaking out. He keeps changing identity, running off, changing identities, and Daredevil just zeroes right in on him and starts, beating the crap out of him. And he's like, how is he doing this? It's really a smart story. But what a great cover. Look at that.
Yeah, fabulous.
Nobody could bend the body like Gil Kane could.
No.
You know, and put it in literally any position that you want. And just a master of anatomy. Levi is in morning, gents. Happy to catch you the live for a change, for a little while at least. Levi, you're always welcome on for as long as you want to stay on, you know. Come on in anytime you'd like. And if you're part of the Facebook group, the link is there. I enjoy the really crazy Superman stories of the 60s. Superman with a lion's head, fat Superman. All of that was just ridiculously fun. Yes, it was. Great stuff. Some fantastic stuff.
Who was writing Superman in the 60s?
Otto Binder.
Was it
Binder, which was two people. Which was Otto and Yando, I think, were the main pair. Gardner Fox wrote a lot of that stuff.
Kurt Swan would be drawing it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it'd be the Swan or what is it, Mort
Weisinger.
Weisinger, yeah, with the big barrel-chested Superman.
Yeah,
Kurt Swan was good. Thick. Yeah, Swan was amazing, very underrated, especially at the time. And the Superman Adventures done in the 90s, Superman Adventure style. Yeah. I felt the show and the comics that they put out captured the best of Superman. Yeah, I think so too. Bruce Timm there really knew what he was doing. Got a how to draw book for those animated characters that's very interesting to look at.
Back when he did know what he was doing.
Yeah, that too. But I got a how to draw book on all of those characters, and it's got a whole nother set of characters in there. I guess they were going to do a Wonder Woman animated series there for a while that had the Creeper as a secondary character.
Creeper. Oh, sorry, that's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Is that Creeper Steve Ditko?
Yeah. I got those here too in an archive. Set of Ditko stuff that he did for DC. We'll have to look at that one of these days soon. Folks, I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman, Arrow Comics. Our latest endeavor is sat and adapted Robert E. Howard's Shadow Kingdom for Russ Leach to draw. The adventures of Kull and Brule as Kull becomes king of Volusia and finds out that there's a scheme to take over his throne by a race of shape-shifting lizard people. And then we took those characters and continued their adventures in the Atlantean. We have 2 volumes of that out now, and the third one is currently deep into production. The 4th script is plotted, and I am scripting it now. There's 2 great issues of the Atlantean, and these are available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, criticalblast.com, any place that you can order books in the Ingram ordering system. Can't recommend them to you highly enough, especially if you enjoy sword and sorcery, barbarians and monsters, and nice looking women. It's all there for your entertainment. So it's the Atlantean, and issue 3 will have the campaign start up in the middle of July over at fundmycomic.com. So be ready for that. If you want more information on that, you can subscribe to and be put on the mailing list at russleach.com for more information about the Atlantean. Also joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books about famous artists. Nobody better than this guy.
Nobody.
I also draw my own characters. This is Hatch. This is a story about how he came to being. There's lots of published and unpublished artwork in there from the early days, all kinds of stuff. You can find that on Fund My Comic. And occasionally, I've been known to publish magazines about comics. And you can get, these are on eBay or from me, and these are on Amazon. There's 15 issues of this. It's 100 pages. It's got interviews in it, articles in it. Russ and Randy have both appeared a couple of times in it. Lots of good stuff in there. So that's on Amazon. So check that out.
Yeah. And also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. I can't really say any more than Randy's just said. You need to go and check out the Atlantean issues 1, 2, and the Shadow Kingdom are available online, all good bookstores. But if you want to find out more about the production, about what's going on, there's a regular email. So get on the newsletter list, get on the email list over at russleach.com. And you should be able to buy books from there soon as well. I'm going to put up all the links there so that you can just go straight to russleach.com and get all your links. So check it out, russleach.com. Sign up for that email list.
There we go. All right, let's see here. I don't know if I can post these overlays without blocking Russ out completely here.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Like I said, we not that Daredevil.
Can't you just see
that? Yeah,
I'm good with that. Well, you put us all down the left hand side.
I don't know if I can do that.
All the little
Oop. Nope, not quite. Nope, even smaller. There we are. Hey, what do you know? If I hit enough buttons, maybe it'll work. Like I said,
that's quite low res.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't tell, folks. We're on computer. It's all low res.
I think it's probably the file you've posted rather than...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, if it's the file from the DM, it'll be a low res file.
I pulled all of these off of Bing, so
who knows? That's better.
They're going to vary in DPI, I'm sure.
What's the guy in the wheelchair doing?
That's one of running.
Oh, did I say that?
He's not running.
There's plenty of people out there on 2 wheels that are faster than me.
Oh dear. Wow. Are these all from the 70s?
70s and 80s, I think. Maybe a little 60s mixed in here too, because I've got a Green Lantern cover or 2. Here's an All-Star Western.
Oh wow, that goes back a bit. God.
I tried to pull up some stuff that isn't real familiar and other stuff that is. So
did he paint this as well?
I think he inked it. I'm not sure if he colored it or not.
Wow, never seen that.
1958.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize he went back that far.
Yeah. All-Star Comics shifted to All-Star Western when Western sold more than superheroes. So the Justice Society gave way to cowboys.
I think Gil Kane was born in 1926, wasn't he? Around that time.
Wow.
We can look it up. Absolutely. Meant to pull that up earlier.
Skip Edwards is saying, hey, what's a Gil Kane?
There you are. What's
it's like a cane? It's like a walking cane, except for fish.
Let me
go. Where's the next one?
Here's a cover from Action, black and white.
Look at that. Look at that.
This is all line work on Lex's face there. If that's Lex, I'm pretty sure it is.
Wow.
Planeteer. Excuse me, it's the Planeteer.
Like he's got a dodgy cowboy hat on with a War of the Worlds contraption coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's got long old fingers as well. Look at them.
Yeah.
Here is a picture of Gil Kane. But I'm not sharing the... There we are.
All right.
So it'd be about 50 there, wouldn't he?
I would think so. Understand he was very tall. Never met him in person.
Well, I'll tell you my story about him. When I went to that convention in London in, I think it was 86, he was standing there with Barry Windsor Smith, Alan Moore, and Dave Gibbons, I think it was. And I went over to talk to them. They were talking. I went over and I said, "Excuse me, fellas," and they all looked round. And then somebody called them to go to the panel, so they all just went and walked off. None of them said a word.
No.
So that was my chance.
All that talent in one place.
Yeah, standing in 2 square feet, you know, just standing there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would imagine that could have caused a black hole.
It could have.
All that talent in one place. Just too much mess.
The gravitational pull on that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, 1926 he was born. Yeah.
Yeah. April 5th, April 6th, 1926. Yeah. In Latvia.
Yeah.
Ah.
Was born Eli Katz.
Meow.
Elijah Kacs. Yeah. Latvia, to a Jewish family who immigrated to the U.S. in 1929, settling in Brooklyn, New York City. His father was a struggling poultry merchant, sold chickens, probably eggs. Kane attended high school at Manhattan School of Industrial Art, but left his senior year when he saw an opportunity to work at MLJ Comics, which is Archie Comics. So he recalled in a 96 interview, says, "From the time I was 15, I was going up to the comic offices. My first job came the next year at 16. During my summer vacation between years in high school, I went up and got a job working at MLJ in 1942. I was in my last year in high school when I left. I was 16 and I'd already started my last year, but I had already gotten my job the summer before at MLJ, so I didn't want to give up my job. I quit school and in the last grade. So until being fired after 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Kane worked in production. Yeah.
Why did he get fired?
Putting borders on pages. The letterers would only put in the lettering, not the balloons. So I would put in the borders, balloons, and I'd finish up artwork, whatever had to be done on a lesser scale. Within a couple of days of being let go, I got a job with Jack Binder's agency, Binder. Binder had a loft on Fifth Avenue, and it just looked like an internet or an internment camp. There must have been 50 or 60 guys up there, all at drawing tables. You had to account for the paper that you took. Kane began penciling professionally there, but they weren't terribly happy with what I was doing. But when I was rehired at MLJ 3 weeks later, it seems 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a big thing for him. Not only did they put me back into the production department and gave me an increase, they gave me my first job, which was Inspector Bentley of Scotland Yard in Pep Comics. And then they gave me a whole issue of The Shield and Dusty, one of their leading books. He would also do spot illustrations for other studios. His earliest known credit, inking Carl Habel on the 6-page Scarlet Avengers superhero story, The Counterfeit Money Code, and MLJ's Zip Comics number 14, dated May of 1941, which he signed the name GIL Kane. Other early credits include some issues of the company's Pep Comics, sometimes under pseudonyms, including Stack Till and Stack Till spelt differently, and in conjunction with an artist Penn maker, Penn Star. He even used his birth name on rare occasions, including on at least one story each in the Temerson Helnet Continental Publishing Group's Terrific Comics and Catman Comics. In 1944, he did his first work for the future Marvel Comics as one of 2 inkers on the 28-page The Spawn of Death in the longtime Kid Gang comic Young Allies, number 11. That had Bucky and Toro in it, your typical group of Kid Gang stereotypes of the day. And the future DC Comics as the uncredited ghost artist for Jack Kirby on the Sandman superhero story Courage a la carte in Adventure Comics number 91 from May of 44. That same year, Kane either was drafted or enlisted in the Army and served in World War II Pacific Theater of Operations. After 19 months in the service, he returned in December of 45. All-Star Publications editor Sheldon Mayer hired him in 1947 for a stint that lasted 6 months. A lot longer than 3 weeks. He contributed again to the Sandman feature in Adventure Comics and as penciler Gil Stack and inker Phil Martlett to the Wildcat feature in Sensation Comics. Around this time, he said, he worked with director Garson Kanin when he was involved in TV drawing storyboards. In 49, Kane began a long-time professional relationship with Julius Schwartz, an editor at National Comics, the future DC Comics. Kane drew stories of several DC series in the 50s, including All-Star Western and the adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog. And then he went on to Green Lantern and the Atom and Thunder Agents after that. On and on. All right. Here we go. Let's throw something else up there. Here's a issue of Amazing Heroes.
Look at that. It's lovely, isn't it? That's amazing.
This is a little bit more recent. I think this is 90s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s.
I always felt that Gil Kane had a European style rather than an American style.
He had a very unique look to his stuff. You know, when he inked his own work, he had some sort of a sharp felt marker, I think he was using to ink. Back in the golden age, like we mentioned before, he did covers for the Atom.
Wow, look
at that.
That's so him. That is
crossover with the
signature, isn't it?
Golden Age Atom.
The rib cage.
Pull that up.
The rib cage, the stomach muscles, the way that the legs are flipped back, the grip on the hands, seeing the even though he's upside down, seeing the undershot of his chin and his nose.
Yeah.
It's all signature, all of it.
This magazine ain't big enough for the both of us.
Always love breakthrough covers. Here's an odd Atom cover that I hadn't seen before. Atom number 4.
Wow, come on.
It's by jumping on this eraser and the rebound gives me enough spring to leap up to this thief and KO him before he can make his getaway.
Badoing.
Yeah.
That's I mean, panels on a cover. Don't see that a lot.
No, you don't.
Did he create Atom along with somebody else?
He helped. I think him and Julie Schwartz designed he did the costume design. Obviously, it's one of his signature styles there. Just like who is it? Mentor on Thunder Agents, the guy who could do stuff with his mind. He had almost the exact same costume as this version of the Atom. It was fun. The Atom stories were a lot of fun. He used to be able to travel by calling somebody on the phone and jumping into the telephone wire, following the signal across and popping out of the receiver on the other end.
Was that the world's first what is it? You know, beam me up, Scotty things.
Yeah, pretty much teleportation system.
Yeah. telephone petition.
Just he got so small, he rode the electrical charge from phone to phone. He didn't end up in who knows where, it's beyond me, but it worked. It must have been a direct line. That's what it was.
Yeah. And they have to have, it's knackered if they didn't answer the phone, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never answer the phone.
There's another Adam cover. Oh no, that's the same Adam cover. We were
just a little bit of knowledge. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Next up, I have a little bit more recent cover for Avengers. Also very much Gil Kane. This is issue 136.
That Captain America looks a lot like John Romita's got his brush on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I wonder if he did.
I'm not sure who inked this. It's just pretty obvious it's Kane doing the drawing, though.
Yeah.
The pencil work. I believe this issue was a fill-in issue too. Was they ended up using a lot of Beast story from Amazing Adventures. So they were behind on deadline.
See, this is around the time when they started changing all the logos. I never really cared for this one or the Fantastic Four logo. They changed it to. Didn't like those at all.
This one was all right. The FF one was kind of screwy, but they had been, everybody had their the original logo for FF is iconic. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Here's a Captain Action cover.
Look at that.
One of my favorites.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Those hands again.
Yeah.
Again, wonderful perspective on that.
Mm-hmm.
Great composition.
I think it's just Adams. I think nope. It just says Gil Kane on it, so he might have inked that himself.
She's alive.
Really great stuff, Really, this Captain Action only lasted, I think, half a dozen issues, but it was all Gil Kane and Wally Wood inside.
That'd be a good series, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody a good idea here. Do a series of books that just covers like Kirby, Ditko, Kane, Wood, just the covers. I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Imagine John Buscema book just covers. Imagine that.
I'm sure some of that the artisan editions have a lot of covers in them. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got two presentation books of Buscema art. One's a gallery and the other one's just a presentation. And they've got several covers in them as well. We'll have to go through that one at some point.
Yeah. Speaking of that, here's a Captain Marvel original.
Look at that. That's typical Kane, isn't it? That pose with those skinny legs.
I think this is the first issue of Captain Marvel I bought.
Gil Kane and Dan Adkins.
Probably got that used too. Yeah. Great character.
The Rat Pack.
So we looked at this book, a couple of years, maybe a year and a half ago. Black Mark.
Oh.
That's the original paperback cover.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And that was printed regular paperback book size, smaller than a comic.
I wonder if he colored that as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would imagine he did on this. This was really a personal side project that he did. They had 2 issues in paperback form that they had done. They only printed 1 though. That was this one.
So the other one never been published?
Oh no, Marvel published it, and it's published in the volume that we were looking at.
She's chasing after him there, saying you've forgotten your lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's shouting, Shane, come back. Instead of Kane.
It's another Captain Marvel cover.
Wow.
Beware the living H-bomb. Hot girl in front.
Looks a bit distorted with the head.
Does it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
chest,
she's
the chest
forward a little.
it's strange.
Yeah.
Still, I wish I could draw that badly.
Yeah.
Nice lettering though. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There's a classic Conan annual cover, king size annual.
Is that a young Conan?
Yeah. It is.
Look at that. He does great boots as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Just everything on this is working, you know.
And it's great the way that he's almost obliterating the logo and we still know who it is.
Oh yeah. That's the
It's a good, well designed logo.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Back then, you did those logos to be seen from 20 feet, off of the comic rack. So they were all bold and very readable.
So also the shorter the name, the easier it is to identify.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's why I did yours in that kind of style, similar to that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and it works. And Atlantean is obviously a longer word than Conan, but it's still just that one word block at the top, and it shouts. It does its job so well.
It does.
Not sure about his boots though.
You don't like his boots?
No, they're a bit too modern for me.
Yeah, I like the way he draws things like that, but they look like Ugg boots, don't they?
Yeah, the Ugg boots. Yeah.
I tell you what I do like though. I like his belt and the dagger.
Yeah, check that out.
That's fantastic. Now.
Yeah. It's just a boot style that goes around in fashion. So back then it was posh.
Posh.
We looked at Telos on a DC special, one of the episodes long time back. There's Telos for a cover of Comics Journal.
It's just so good, isn't he?
Isn't that great? And again, that's one of those illustrations where everything's working.
So something else that I've noticed is there's a difference between sort of learning your art and effectively not being ready for prime time and simply getting on with the book and not being perfect. Two different things. So we look back at these artists, and we've had this discussion before, as we're kids, we look at Buscema and Kane and think that they're perfect, and they're not. They make mistakes. There's little odd bits of anatomy here and there, dodgy things, but it doesn't matter because it's so cool, and and it tells a story, and that's the power of it, the energy, the story, and just the way that it all fits together. And I think a lot of modern comics, I mean, I saw a cover the other day and it's like, and I thought, is that somebody doing a fan? And it wasn't, it was actually a Marvel cover. I was like so upset by it. But the point is that the top end, the top stars are all driving for perfection. And there is some beautiful work out there. Superman, or is it Action Comics at the moment? There's a guy on there who's just amazing. But
Oops.
I think we're kind of losing something in the drive for perfection. And this is like in my own microcosm of trying to work, having this, these guys were perfect when I was a kid. So I'm looking for the perfect line. And now I'm understanding, God knows how many decades later, that's not the point. It's not about perfection. It's about creating this cool thing, creating this thing that tells a story. And I think there's artists out there that are kind of, in their drive for perfection, are kind of losing the point. Have you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got to know when to leave it alone, haven't you?
Yeah. It's tricky. It's difficult. But the perfect example of that balance is looking at these comics from 30, 40, 50 years ago. And you look at people like Kane and Buscema and Adams and what have you, and they do some kooky things and there's some odd anatomy here and there, but it doesn't matter. It isn't perfect. And because of that, it has action and energy on the page, and because of that, it's enjoyable and fun to read. I've picked up books that have the most stellar art in them and found them boring and dull.
Yeah.
Not because the art isn't good; it's fabulous, but it's not instilling me with like this is fun, this is great, this, you know, I want to read this. It's just not doing it. And I think in our drive, and this is part of culture as well, in our drive for perfection, it's like AI at the moment. AI is all about eventually doing realistic stuff that you can't tell the difference between reality and the AI. Well, that's not what comics are. Comics are representation. They're like we were talking about. They're like the old painters. They're impressionist for all intents and purposes. You don't want to see perfection in them. I think that's what we lose when we drive for that. We lose the energy, and that's why all these comics and these artists are still so they're still so amazing to look at, even with their errors and oddities. They're just amazing to look at.
Did he forget to draw his boot in the stirrup?
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah,
I'll tell you something.
Down in there, just hidden by a the solid black there.
Maybe he's just like pulled his foot down. He's just wiggling it about a bit because he's a bit stiff. You can't see it.
If you look at the shield, that's far from perfect as well.
No, exactly, and it doesn't matter.
No,
yeah, it doesn't matter. I can see that. I can see that shield and say like that's not been drawn with any kind of circle template or anything, and I don't care. Just look at it. Look at again on the left-hand side there. He's used that sort of negative space technique for those leaves that are coming in front of the the tree. There is just there's all just little bits of just fantastic technique in there.
And he also on the building he also stops rendering next to the shield so the shield doesn't get lost.
Yeah, so it doesn't get lost. Yeah, that's right. All these things you can do, and if you're looking for perfection, you don't do that. You have to put everything in. That's what perfection is, isn't it? If you see it from a perspective of simply just nuts and bolts, okay, the perfect picture has everything in it. Well, that doesn't work that way. Comics don't work that way. It's all impressionism, all of it.
It's another Conan cover.
Oh, look at that!
Wow. Look at the detail on the arm at the bottom, the elbow.
Yeah.
Just above the title at the bottom. Just fantastic, isn't it? I like the way the detail he puts on the knife and the scabbard and stuff like that, as well as that body. Incredible. That guy he's got by the throat, and he's the one breaking the logo.
Yeah.
Wow.
The dynamics on it are incredible.
Yeah.
On this, just the body and the composition of it.
That arm at the bottom actually looks a little like the way Vinny would ink it, doesn't it? Remember Thor when he used to have all the lines on his arms?
Mm-hmm.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now this is the second time in these that we've just been looking at these covers, and he's just this black smoke effect. I just wonder what that's about. I know why he's doing it in terms of throwing the drawing forward, but what's it got to do with what's going on?
It's just a plume of smoke.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with it. Oh, I'll stick a plume of smoke in here, and this guy will stand out from it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that smoke or is that a storm cloud? Because there seems to be a lightning bolt going down there.
That's
the
left-hand
there is
side.
a lightning. Yeah, it could be a storm cloud. Yeah.
It's one of those drawings you can just look at for a while and
and look at the
detail.
Look at Conan's hair, the way they've done use the white out against the black.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, but you see the armor on those guys, and it's a little bit Kirby-ish.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Little horns and everything.
Yeah.
It looks like a Tales from Asgard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
And the guy he's holding by the neck's got a really bizarre helmet on.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Again, it's one of those drawings you can look at for a long time.
It's just fabulous, isn't it? Look at that. Amazing.
Here's a little bit more controlled chaos, more recent here.
Superman.
A little thicker, yeah.
And a green
Savannah.
Shazam.
Yeah. Savannah dressed as Fat Man, the human flying saucer. Yeah. But again, there's a study in comic book anatomy right there.
Yeah.
Foreshortening on Superman's arms, just great. Though the cape's a little goofy looking, I think. Looks more like wings.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to say it looks like he's got wings on you.
Yeah. Back to Daredevil.
Oh,
Daredevil and Black Widow.
again, there's another homage to that Daredevil 7 with Bollywood.
Yeah. Not sure who inked this. I don't think it was Kane, though. Widow's got a strange looking face.
Yeah.
Or should I say stylized? It doesn't look strange. It just doesn't look like Kane's material.
Yeah, her eyes are too far apart.
Yeah. Death is a Black Widow.
Was that a remitter ink?
Could be. I'm not sure. It's another Daredevil. 139. Much later on.
See, what happened was Gil Kane's one of the best storytellers. So they gave him the gig of doing covers and he couldn't help himself. Like on that Flash one. Is it the Atom? He has to draw. He can't just draw him once. He's got to draw 15 of him. Like it's a page, you know.
Yeah, he can't stop himself. No. Story in every image. Again, that looks remitter inked.
Yeah. Look at that.
So they added Black Widow there for a time. Daredevil went through a lot of different incarnations. They didn't quite know what to do with him. So for a while, he had a romance with Black Widow and had the two of them in a book. Great.
How come he could hear the other guy's heart, but he can't?
Yeah,
hear him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
else to hear.
There's a definite variation in Daredevil's powers.
Yeah.
Also, at the end of the day, he's just a guy, isn't he? I mean, it's not like he shouldn't have super strength or anything like that.
And the ear here, is that in or outside the costume? Looks like here it's on the inside of the costume. Might be having a hard time hearing anyway.
You never saw the ears at all, did you?
He's got an ear here.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing ears on him at all.
Yeah. No.
Well, his ears are there, yeah. And they're just lumps.
Yeah, just lumps. Daredevil 146.
It's got ears there.
That's a real
great cover. Look at that.
Real Kirby design, that isn't it, with the gun and everything.
Inked by Miller.
Yeah,
but it's giving me Neil Adams vibes as well.
Yes, yeah, the way he's standing.
Yeah,
and the arm, reaching down to the floor. Whereas the blood's coming off. That's very Adams, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. It could be a Batman cover, or
yeah, and that gun's pure Kirby.
Yeah,
yeah. That's all. Yeah, that's Kane. Though basic shapes piled on top of one another. It's how he draws his spaceships too.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some interesting pencils from Gil Kane a while back, and he actually draws the shapes, doesn't he? You know, rather than the torso, and fits the muscular bits in. He does the shapes. It's very clever the way he constructs it.
Another Daredevil. Oh, that's the one that we looked at earlier. Here's The Edge #1. It's a book that he worked on with Stephen Grant for Malibu Comics.
That's a horrible logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody
coloring.
did that in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and color as well. It's just
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, look at that. Look,
Coloring's
let's do
terrible.
the edge. It'll be like, oh, well, let's put another piece on the top of it. That big line. That'll
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll,
yeah.
it'll make it edgy.
It'll make it
Yeah,
edgy.
Great drawing, but horrible
Yeah.
logo.
Awful logo.
It's a Nick Fury, Sergeant Fury.
Wow, Sergeant Fury as well. I didn't know he'd drawn that. I tell you what, those planes are going to suffer, aren't they? They're a bit low, aren't they? Dropping that amount of ordnance, not getting back, are they?
Well, you know, you do what you can with the space you're given. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Not the kid, not the kid. Looks like he's going to kill it himself, doesn't it? Look at his face.
Yeah.
Someone's got to die, and I want to do it.
And then the hand in front. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think his style lends itself to war, though, does it?
I don't know. He could draw just about anything he wanted to draw. Kane could, but we just see him more in fantasy and superhero stuff. I've got some Western covers coming up that look pretty cool.
Right.
Here's a cover from Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
150.
I tend to agree with you, Glenn. He's right. He could draw anything, but certain styles are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a gritty enough style for it to really work with war.
Yeah.
We'll stop the bombs.
But I can't think of anything else he's done that hasn't worked, to be honest.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just don't
No.
Is it?
Yeah, it just doesn't lend itself to war. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But, I was just trying to think of anything else he's done that maybe it didn't lend itself to, and I can't think of anything.
Wonder how much romance comics he drew.
So again, I think he'd be able to do that, and I think his style would work with that.
Yeah.
He drew Spider-Man, didn't he? So there's a lot of romance in that with MJ and all that. They were always nice-looking girls that he drew, weren't they?
Yeah. It's a Green Lantern cover.
Wow, look at that. Do you know, I really don't like covers with word balloons on it. It really spoils it for me.
Yeah. There's a whole era there that they did.
That's some long legs there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's Sinestro, though. He's lanky. Here's a cover for the Tale of the Headless Horseman. Original art. Minus the logo and the cover dressing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, did he ink that?
I am not sure.
That's got some powerful lines on it.
Yeah, because that face doesn't look like Gil Kane, does it?
No.
Let me take a closer look at it. And see what that looks like. All right.
That spire at the bottom is like a KKK hat.
Like a hood. Oh yeah, that definitely doesn't look like his ink work.
No, it's not. You can tell by that face.
It's a little bit Rudy Nebres, isn't it?
It is. Let me see if I can pull this in. are we here? There we are. Present, share screen. Nope. Let me see. Window. Here we are. Let's see if we can share that. See that all right? No. Let me drop this.
Yeah.
There we are.
Go, yeah.
I would say that's not GIL Kane ink in that.
No.
There's a little tighter on it. Let's.
Yeah.
It's lovely though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that line work. Just great.
Yeah.
The feathering on the skull here.
Between the broad and the thin brush, and yeah.
It's got to be Marcos or I'd say Nino, but it's not thick enough.
Although if it's inking over the top, it could be Sal.
Sal Buscema?
Yeah.
I don't know. It really has a.
It depends on the pencils, doesn't it?
Got a style to it. Look at again, like you were saying. Look at that face.
Yeah, but it depends on the pencils.
Yeah,
it depends on how far GIL Kane went with the pencils as to how much of this is following that.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't think that's.
He signed it.
I don't think that's been done with a brush. You know, I think that's been done with a felt pen or something.
It looks like
it's not smooth enough for a brush.
It looks like a flexible pen point.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that kind of a felt pen type of thing.
For a lot of that, because you look down here, like in its pant leg, in here, you've got some nice variation of line there. It looks like here on the front of the pant leg. I don't know if you can see my pointer.
Yeah.
Or not. Right there. That's just one.
Yeah.
Boom.
That doesn't look like a brush line. That
No,
looks like a pen line where you scribble off. Yeah.
It does.
It's like that in his shirt as well.
But whoever inked it is incredibly good. Look at the line work here.
And you can also tell
the cross hatching on the bottom of the horse is just amazing.
I think you can tell that's been done very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say knocked out, you know, in 2 seconds, but it's been done very quickly.
Uber professional.
Yeah, and it works.
Exactly. It's exactly what I was going to say. The thin lines here on the snorting steam.
Yeah,
coming off of that horse, just
it's by someone who's knocking this out every day, all the time.
Who knows,
bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Somebody who does a lot of inking.
Yeah,
it's a lot of good style there. The hair on the mane of the horse looks like it was done in brush.
Yeah,
and yet the other detail here, he might be using a brush on this, and just be that good. As opposed to a pen point, but the flame on the head flying, that's all got to be pen. The outside of it, that's a steady line. There, it's a little variation here and there.
But you can see when he if you go to that where the guy's waist is, where the line has gone over the flame.
Yeah.
So that would tell me that the flame was obviously done first, and then he inked over the top. But it might be wrong. But it's fantastic. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Very professionally done. Whoop. Jumped it. Let me get out of there. Yep. Back to where we were.
Russ, question for you. What color this isn't a trick question, I just need some information. What color are Cull's eyes? Are they brown?
Oh, I thought they were blue.
Well, okay. You tell me.
But I don't know. Randy's the man. I've been drawing in black and white.
I'm trying to remember what if
I thought Atlanteans were black hair and blue eyed.
Right, okay.
I thought.
Yeah.
But I may be wrong.
Well, that's what I'll do, and I'll blame you.
Okay.
That's fine. It's a Green Lantern cover.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Chat's open, friends. If you're watching this live, feel free to chime in. If you have a favorite Gil Kane cover, let us know. Hit that like button. Appreciate everybody being here this morning. Chime in. Let us know you're live. There's that great event and Invaders cover. I always liked that when I was a kid.
That guy, is that Captain Britain in the middle? Who's that?
Union Jack.
Union Jack. It looks like he's escaped from prison. He's managed to get the shackles off his ankles.
Yeah.
Is that a Gil Kane cover? All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see it in the Human Torch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think
The rest of it, yeah, it looks like he's rushed this one.
I am guessing at the inker on this. I'm thinking that it's Claus Jansen.
I'm thinking that it was more of a layout than a finished pencils.
Could be that too. Yeah.
I've got a few Conan monthlies here with Gil Kane covers on.
Here's a cover for Iron Man.
Wow,
It's
wow.
classic. Iron Man versus
nice.
Submariner.
Ugh, look at that.
Again, he's done the smoke behind it.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? Look at the people on the pier.
Studying dynamics, and composition. Just great. Yeah.
Wow. Great water as well, the way it's splashing up.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. This is what I meant before when I didn't think his style was sort of a war comic style. He has a very superhero type of style.
Very dynamic.
I don't particularly like his Conan either. I don't think it works too well.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not badly drawn. I just don't think it.
I think the problem with all of Conan is that Buscema spoils us.
Yeah, he's such a high bar, isn't it?
It's such a high bar that it's difficult to see beyond it. That's the trouble. And you can get all kinds of stuff. You can get all kinds of fantastic artists doing it, and it's a really good job. But Buscema's just spoiled it for us.
We said before about Kirby. I mean, he can't draw Batman or Spider-Man, can he?
No, exactly.
And also his Conan. Have you seen his Conan the Barbarian?
I think I did. Yeah, there's some covers that he did over Barry Windsor Smith Interiors, isn't there?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. I think so. Yeah.
When I was at his house, he had a Conan on the wall. I'll send it to you. I'll show you. And it looks like Khazar or Kesar.
Yeah.
Khazar. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's. I'm glad he didn't draw Conan because I think Barry Smith caught Conan in the way that Conan is not a piece of granite like Kirby's characters are.
Yeah.
Is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this. I'll say this in a minute. That's what you've done in the Atlantean, Russ. You've not made him a god. He's a guy. I know he's well built and all that, and he's dangerous. But you could kill him. He could die.
Yeah, he looks vulnerable. Yes.
Yeah. But when you see Kirby, when you see Jack Kirby drawing Thor, there's no way he's going to die.
No, you're just going to say, I'm not here for a fight with you, mate. See you later.
That's a great cover.
Yeah. Did a run on John Carter as well.
Oh, yes.
That's Nebris. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that Nebris over the top of him there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like the coloring on this at all.
No, that green guy's not working, is he?
Not at all. Yeah. It's
Too
really
dark.
Drops out. Here's another better Carter cover.
Oh, wow.
Floating head. Yeah.
Who's the guy with 15 arms?
They're the guys they're Martians, aren't they?
Yeah, they're Martians. Yeah.
Pablo Marcos inking this one.
Yeah.
See, Pablo Marcos and those guys are like, what's he called? Who draws Modesty Blaze, Romero? They can't draw ugly women, can they? These people. They're
No,
always,
no.
always
Pablo
gorgeous.
Marcos is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That guy's got he's got a GIL Kane boot on again, hasn't he? An Ugg boot.
Yeah, Ugg boots, and John Carter has got some very nice floppy
Captain
pirate
America
boots on.
boots. Yeah. Great composition.
It's lovely.
Your eye just goes around and around, isn't it? Just wonderful. He's like Jack Davis. He always gets the upshot of the nose, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Davis with the bottom of the shoe, he always manages to get the bottom of the shoe in somehow.
Yeah.
Chins and noses.
Yeah. That's great. Do you know, another thing that bugs me is that big, what's it called? The thing in the bottom left-hand corner there, the code.
Yeah, the barcode.
Oh, the UPC code. Yeah, that barcode always
And then
gets
when
in
they
the way.
stopped doing it, they put that Spider-Man head in, didn't they, on Marvel?
Mm.
Well, that was to distinguish between direct market copies and copies that went out to the drugstores. The newsstand copies all had the UPC code because they could, people at the bodegas and newsstands could just scan the code and ring it into the register, where at the direct market, they didn't have those capabilities yet. So they didn't bother to put the code on it.
Right.
So collectors know, the newsstand copies. Yeah, they know which is which. The newsstand copies are a lot harder to find because they were especially in better shape because they were the ones that were on the spiral racks and thumbed through. And, the other books were bought at comic shops where people respected condition and that kind of thing. So it's really difficult to find a newsstand edition of books during this era that's in good shape.
So there was method in their madness then.
That's just their way of separating it so that they didn't catch returns. Because
so the ones with the Spider-Man on are the good ones.
They're actually slightly lower value because they went through the retail shops and the majority of the retailers sold it in a bag sometimes with a board on it, where the newsstand versions, the ones with the UPC codes, were all sitting in spiral racks and out in the open, and people would thumb through them and dog ear them, that kind of stuff. So it's harder to find the newsstand editions in better shape.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's an Iron Man cover.
Okay, that's interesting because I got Conan the Barbarian movie special. I've got them with UPC codes.
They might have left the UPC codes on the magazines. Didn't matter.
Oh no, it wasn't a magazine. It was. It's a monthly.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they eventually, once the Diamond ended up supplying all of the shops with their own cash registers, trying to keep that control and bleed them for every dime that they possibly could with their own.
It all ended well.
Yeah, with their own cataloging system, and that worked off of the UPC codes. So they dropped the Spider-Man heads after a while.
Look at that.
And just left it the UPC codes. But by that time, they weren't going through the majority of the newsstands anyway.
There's some hard work been put on Iron Man's legs there.
Mm. Well, they've also made his bottom leg there look a bit flat, haven't they? They didn't do the curve of the leg, did they?
Bit weird. It's a bit Kirby-esque, isn't it?
And I thought the rat in the lower right was a nice touch.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
He is a big rat.
He's a big rat.
It looks like a Birmingham rat.
Yeah, and there's his missus on the pipe.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Oh,
it's original from Jungle Action 2. At this point, they were running reprints of Jungle Man stories. So, and I couldn't tell you which character this is.
Jungle Man.
His name, whoever it was, he was just coming back in on issue 2. So whoever it was returns at this one.
Jungle Man.
They had quite a few different Jungle Man characters. Atlas Timely did, and the Jungle Action reprinted those stories for a little bit, probably the first 10, 12 issues, and then they put Black Panther in it. And that had the big Don McGregor ran through Jungle Action because they didn't have enough faith in Black Panther to give him his own title. He didn't get that until Kirby did it.
Just go back to that cover there.
Yeah,
please. The best thing, if you want to see composition, it's the way you come in with his foot and his leg, and you see him, and then you see the crocodile, and then you see what they're both fighting about, which is the girl. The way that your eye goes around is amazing. The composition is just fantastic, and the way the arms and the crocodile or alligator, whatever he is, his legs curve to make your eye go around again. The circle.
Yeah, the whole body bends right towards that girl.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. That's brilliant.
It is.
A lovely drawing.
I like that cover a lot.
Yeah.
There's an odd cover I had never seen before. Looks like
great,
more recent.
But great the way he's tilted him over.
Yeah.
You know, and he's done that black again, but this time he's put flames in. And somebody must have mentioned it. No smoke without fire. And he said, no, but it works. It works.
Here's another classic cover. Marvel.
Yeah, I think he's inked that one.
Oh,
he's inked that one. It's okay.
Yeah,
because it's just a GK, isn't it? So he's inked that one as well.
Not only that, but he's got an inking style that's really thick. I think like I said, I think he uses felt markers on some of this because it's got a real thick line to it. Here's a classic Red Sonja cover.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
She-Devil with a sword.
Is that guy's going backwards there? He's upside down. He's doing the Gil Kane pose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. Never learn, these bad guys, do they?
They never learn.
But again, the composition there, that spear head is pointing right towards Sonja. She's right there in the center.
And you got the
really
pillars
well
of the building going up the sword and down the arm and round. It's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Dr. Doom there as a skeleton. Wow.
Dr. Doom.
So, yeah.
Brilliant.
Here's a cover from Planet of the Apes.
That's a strange cover, isn't it? That's almost like a interior panel illustration, isn't it? I don't think that's a good cover. Great drawing, but it's not a good cover. I mean, look at the guy to the right, or to our left as you look at it with the blue head. Look at his arm. His arm's not right with that gun.
No. It's back behind him and up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't look right.
Brenton Nova enslaved.
Nova.
Yep. Here is a.
Look at that. Look at that. Just before you go. Sorry. Just before you bring the struggling savage down quickly. We need 2 more humans for target practice.
Yeah.
It's great.
They really didn't like the humans.
Who's inked that? It's Kane in the corner there under the masthead. You can see it. What does it say? This is
Whereabouts?
Kane. Left-hand side above
just
the yellow
below the
arm.
head.
Oh, Kane. Oh.
Kane plus, not Wrightson, is it?
I can tell you here. Give me another second to pull it up. It'll take a sec here. It's at 8. Nope.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I'm still looking for it here. It's got to be it. It is one big blur. Actually, it looks like Esposito.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Esposito. I think that here's another favorite cover of mine, of one of my favorite from Gil Kane.
Oh.
That's a great cover. Doom in the Desert.
Another Kirby composition with the guns
Yeah.
And the way that they're
in the water.
yeah, which wouldn't be like that at all.
No, but it's good.
But it's good.
Like you said, it's just going to tell a story. If it works, it
Got to
works.
tell a story. It works. Doesn't matter. Like instantly, you've looked at that and gone, "Oh yeah, that's their reflections." It's like, what? No, that's not the way reflections work.
Yeah.
If
Doesn't
it-
matter.
If it works, it must be right. Who shall call it treason? It's one of them. And that's some. That time tunnel.
Yeah. I like it though.
It's
It works
fantastic.
real well. Yeah.
It all works. Yeah, it's great.
Here's my favorite cover from Jungle Action.
Oh, look at that!
Rawr.
Oh, look at that! Look at the energy and the power in his arm, the forcing that mouth open.
Yeah.
Wow! Oh, God, that's brilliant! I've never seen that before.
There are serpents in paradise. Yeah.
Behemoths from beyond time.
And it's ripped all his clothes except his helmet.
Yeah. It's before he had a cyber suit made out of vibranium.
Oh, is that what he did? And turned into a woman and all that.
Who knows? Yeah. He's white now. So
You're joking.
no.
He, is it white?
They didn't turn him white. It just the Black Panther mantle got passed down to a white dude.
What in?
Huh?
What in? What did that appear in?
One of the most
Black
recent
Panther.
comics.
Yeah, the most recent Black Panther.
So the Black Panther's a white man now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
that's
Utterly
how-
ridiculous.
That's how on top of things Marvel feels that they have to be.
so
Yeah.
they've done that Spider-Man thing that whoever puts the costume on is Spider-Man, not Peter Parker.
Pretty much, yeah.
They've been doing that for years. It's
So
crap.
now we've got a black Captain America because he's dead. We've
Mhm.
got a white Black Panther.
because he's
And
dead.
Got a white Black Panther. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've got a female Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Is Galactus still a cloud?
No,
No,
he's
no.
actually Galactus.
Has
By
he got
looks
his-
of it, he's the only thing in the whole film that's actually worthwhile.
Looks semi-accurate. Yeah.
Has he got his big horn things on his helmet?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's comic book accurate by the looks of it. Apart from his face is a bit weird. But yeah,
Does he have a G on his chest just to remind us?
no, well, I doubt that.
I don't think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they dropped that idea.
Big
We
G on his chest
Oh, man.
Yeah,
because it's
Initially.
English, and
Yeah.
he knows what a G is.
exactly.
Oh.
We looked at this magazine a while back, Savage. Here's the cover for that.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah,
That's great, isn't it? Look at
that
that
was
shot
taking
through
that
his-
guy's head out.
Yeah, for sure.
Bang!
There's no messing what's going on there.
All of it while dancing the can.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Do a high kick here. It's a special appearance down in the lower right of Gil Kane himself from the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like him, yeah. Not a good shot though, is he?
No.
He's missed. And the girl's got the boots on.
Yep. Conan
His
boots.
leg looks a bit odd, doesn't it?
That's because he's canning.
Gil Kane, savage. I bet he is.
During this period, I think he was quite savage at the entire market. So
That's what that headshot there is what created the comics code 40 years previously, wasn't it?
yeah. Stuff like that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Well, that's why this was a magazine so that he could be especially violent.
Blam.
That's the magazine that's got the main character takes the villain's gun and turns it around and jams it into his mouth.
Oh,
Remember that scene?
I don't remember it. I remember we
yeah.
looked at it, but I don't remember that
Yeah,
scene.
he grabs that gun and takes that muzzle and shoves it right into the guy's, breaks his teeth out, all sorts of stuff.
Oh dear.
Pretty graphic. Here's Spider-Man.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Classic. Yeah.
The Goblin's Power.
Great cover.
Yeah.
Remember loving that when I was a kid.
I like the way he scratched through the
into the
the
brick.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his way he's going through the box.
Oh yeah, that too.
And I love the orange bit on it.
That's a stain from the rubber cement, and they
I
were
know,
gluing
I
the
know.
little circle. Well, you know that.
Yeah. It's just great. That's what makes these things with when you can see the white out and the notes on the side.
The tape stains.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Look at that. I mean, look at the people down below. You know that's pretty high up. Look at the size of them. Wow.
Chat's still open, folks. Feel free to chime in if you've got a favorite Gil Kane cover.
Around this time, wasn't Gil Kane doing the interiors with Romita inking, and then they used to swap it around, pencil and ink and swap it?
Yep.
Right. That's a cover, isn't it?
It is. Remember being really impressed with that when I was a kid.
Yeah. We had a great time, didn't we, with this stuff?
Yeah. Early showcase. That's a cover you don't see around very much. Caught him on flypaper.
Again, I don't think he's inking that. Look at the face.
Yeah. Who's inking him at that point? I want to say Green, Sid Green.
Right.
Maybe.
Flypaper. Brilliant.
Here's a cover from Warlock.
Ooh.
Another floating head. Yeah.
Has he lost his cloak now, Dr. Doom? Does he not have that anymore?
No, this is Earth 2. The Warlock, the early Warlock stories was on a world that was on the opposite side of the sun.
Doppelganger.
Yeah, very much like our world, only completely different. So the Dr. Doom on that world was actually a hero and was trying to help Warlock out.
Did you ever see that 9/11 thing when they had Dr. Doom crying because they'd blown up the... He'd be laughing, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be thinking, why didn't I think of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I like that guy, the purple guy. He's really, the way his arms up and everything. That's great.
It's the Brute.
The Brute. But the buildings aren't good with those horrible windows.
Yeah, and I think a few years after this, Atlas, during the short-lived Atlas run, there was a Brute character that was also colored purple. Pretty close looking to this.
Purple with red pants.
I don't know if he had red pants, but I think he had purple fur, or at least dark gray or light gray, blue gray. There's a cover from Sword of the Atom. It's the original art.
Look at that.
Also a classic cover.
Where did the logo fit on there?
Behind the snake, in front of the grass. Yeah.
That's lovely.
That's very
piece.
What you were saying earlier, it's very European line work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's lovely. Why is the guy black and the background is not? When I say black, I mean the line work is very, very black, but the other's kind of I don't know, to my eyes, a sort of a browny reddish tint. Why is that?
Well, that's probably the pen he was using. Over time would fade and bleed into the paper.
But why is he standing out though? And that leaf that hasn't faded out.
No, he might have inked
I
those.
wonder if he's
and
done
put-
it in a. I wonder if he's done it in a different color, inked it in a different color.
I don't think he did that. I think this is just the over time it's faded into the paper. Some of the line work, especially the thinner line work, the stuff in front, like the shadow on the snake there and the solid blacks on the atom, he might have filled in with regular ink with a brush.
I'm using different inks. Like, so if I use ink pens, it's writing ink because you don't want to clog up the ink pen, and that's lighter. It can't be as black as the stuff that you put on your brush.
Right.
And then the brush pens I use a combination of writing and Indian ink, so that it doesn't clog it up. But then there'll be other brushes I use that are full on Indian ink. So you'll get a variation.
Higgins black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It usually works real good.
Yeah, I've got some of that.
Yeah.
Like I say, I vary mine across the different tools, so
I've been using
different colours coming out.
Yeah, I've been using a dip pen recently. It's really nice.
Yeah. I can't get on with it. I really want to, and I can't.
You can do some great thick and thin lines with it.
Yeah,
it's just fantastic.
Here's a cover from Son of Satan, Marvel Spotlight.
Son of Satan.
They call him Hellstorm now, just because everybody was complaining.
It's great the way the spear thing goes from Trident goes from the logo and then takes you down into the action.
Yeah.
Really clever. Really clever.
It's fun.
And he's really struggling to get up those guys off him to get the trident, isn't he? You can see it in his face.
Yeah.
Lots of expression. And typical Gil Kane hands that are sort of bordering on Kirby hands. You know, that grabbing
stretched
thing,
out fingers. Yeah.
I mean, that guy with the axe he means it, doesn't he? Look at him. Look at that axe he's got. He's really
I'm going to chop you up, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to chop you into little bits.
And the guy on the left above his arm, if he was painted red, he'd look like Daredevil with those horns.
Yeah.
Gonna cut you.
That's great. So they changed the name because somebody complained.
Yeah.
What did they change it to? Hellraiser, you say?
Hellstorm. Yeah.
Hellstorm. What about
Hellstorm?
What about Hell?
Hell? Who knows?
Was his secret identity Hellstorm?
Yeah, I think it was actually, but not at their best when they changed his name over. This is back in the late 70s when they ran a whole series of supernatural books. Ghost Rider was really hot.
And there was a bit of a panic, wasn't there, about Satanists?
Yeah,
back then there was everyone, like biker gangs were doing satanic rituals and stuff like that. And it was like, oh God, just shut up.
They had Satana, and their black and white magazines were rolling pretty good at that point. And
there was a lot of vampires back then.
A lot of vampires.
Nothing like bringing attention to something by banning it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, people didn't get that. And of course, I think the other thing is as media has changed and become far more widespread, banning things is even more ridiculous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember back in the 80s when Frankie had Relax and it was banned? It made it top for 5 months or something.
It was like it was number one for ages. The BBC, what was it, Mike Smith or whatever it is, some arsehole at the BBC decided that it was it was unpalatable, so we shouldn't do it. And it's like, oh God.
And it was only in at number 18 or something. And then
and it flew up the charts. It made their careers. It made their career. It absolutely made Holly Johnson's career.
Didn't they automatically ban two tribes for this.
They tried to because of the because of the video. Yeah. They thought it was
Gorbachev
like,
and Ronnie.
and Reagan or whatever it was. It was just or was it Khrushchev and Reagan?
No, it was Gorbachev. He was
Gorbachev in at 84.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like just ridiculous. But they do stuff like that now. I mean, on the one side they're pushing. I'm not going to come down on either side on this, but they're pushing some people's ideologies. Okay, and then on the other side, they take things out of videos on YouTube. So, like, you'll be watching a video on YouTube. So, say Pulp, Common People come up.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the best protest songs of the last 30 years, to be perfectly honest, 40 years even. It is a protest song. People don't realise it's a protest song. It's about inequality. And it's like, there's a line in it where we don't know what else to do, dance or drink or screw or something like that. And on YouTube, that word is just blanked out.
Mm-hmm.
As if it's going to hurt someone. There's, what's it? Summit 6. I can't remember the name. They did the Gay Bar song. And on one of the versions of Gay Bar, where he's clapping, he says, we're going to start a nuclear war. And they just take out the word nuclear.
Yeah.
And you think, who do you think you're trying to save here? What moral good do you think you're doing by censoring words? Like,
that goes back to YouTube's goofy rules. In order to be monetized, you have to
but the thing is
go along with their rules.
Yeah,
so
but in other places
aren't allowed.
So they're songs, yeah. So you can go and get that song on another channel, and it's not been done. And it's like, what's going on? But people they're always going to complain. There's always going to be someone saying that thing there offends me. And the trouble is that we've become a society where we take those offences, those people getting offended, and we act on them instead of just saying, piss off. If you don't like it, turn the telly off or whatever it is. Don't read it. Don't look at it. The thing about freedom is you're free to not read what I'm producing. If you don't like it, go away. That's what we should be doing. But
well, in YouTube's case, they're scared of their advertisers. So they send around a note to people to stop the swearing, and there's certain words that they don't.
It's okay saying that, but it's not consistent.
No,
it's never consistent. You can find it's all over the place. So just better off just going no, and then in what. So, for instance, over here, our advertising has gone completely bonkers. Advertising used to be quite good in this country. It would make you laugh, or it was direct and just tried to sell you something. Now, car adverts or bank adverts are trying to tell you that your kids can't grow up without them, and that we gave you your family life, and that, it's like, piss off, okay? And then you've got other ads, like the ads for I don't know if you've seen it, Glenn, but you've got ads for like Dove underarm deodorant, where they're just like saying balls and tits and stuff, and then there's another ad for Lynx where they've got this backside. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's backside aroma or whatever it is. It's like you spray it on your bum, okay? Although I presume you'd spray it inside rather than just on the outside, like they've got on the advert. And there's this bit where this guy's playing basketball and he goes up to put the basket in and the guy's sniffing his crutch. And as he comes down, he floats down, he's still sniffing his crutch. And then they're in the cinema and this guy walks past because he's gone on his ass. All right. And the girl goes, oh, and just follows his ass down the aisle in the cinema. And it's like, are you offended or aren't you offended? What are you offended? What offends you? What is it? And it's like, there's no consistency anywhere. It's ridiculous.
Well, I told you the other week about that Kentucky, I think it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, where they dipped that guy in that river.
That advert is bonkers. What
is that about? And there's something going on there.
But at least that was crazy. Do you know what I mean? It was out there. I've got more time for that kind of advertising.
Speaking of crazy, here's the cover that we used for the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, look at that. Undersea agent.
seen that before, that composition.
Yeah.
When did this come out? When was this?
It's
Early.
during the Tower comic
60s?
era. Yeah,
So what, 67?
I think so. 60
Around that time?
He's got lovely hair.
somewhere in there. Yeah, with a bubble, like a spaceman. Yeah, helmet.
It's a Wally
Funny
Wood
feet.
helmet.
It is.
Yeah. And it's drawn freehand as well. He's not put the circle template on, which makes it work better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not perfect.
Yeah,
But then
I
again,
don't think
it would be better, wouldn't it, if it was perfect?
I don't think Gil Kane ever used a circle template.
No.
I don't think he took the time. Yeah,
No, didn't care.
just eyeballed it. Yeah,
This will do. Works for me.
it's a mighty Marvel Western.
Didn't he have arguments about what comics should be,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that he felt that they should be quick and you
Yeah.
know they're about the story, they're not about perfect art and all the rest of it.
Exactly. Yep.
And there were other people that had particular arguments with him. I don't know who they were, but
I know there's a great shop talk interview that him and Eisner had.
right.
It was pretty fun. And then there's been whole books of interviews with him because he's very opinionated about what comics are. And
Yeah.
what makes a good comic. It's a mighty Marvel Western.
Well, he should know. He sold enough, didn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. It comes down to what's your record.
There's some classic dynamics there.
It's great. You wanted Dead or Alive, kid. So guess which way I'm taking you in. So instead of shooting him, he just hits him with his pistol.
Yeah.
I looked at the top cover. I wondered who those guys were, but they're on the logo, aren't they? Look at the top cover. Look like they're running off the top of the stagecoach
Yeah.
to help him. I thought, wow, those are a bit small.
Yeah.
And that
That's
guy,
so good though.
that guy holding the reins, looking back, clearly saying, "Dang it, you varmint!"
It's just, that, again, he's not used any kind of template on those wheels.
No,
It doesn't matter.
they're held together with Spider-Man's webbing as well.
Yeah,
aren't
they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. He's just
No,
he's chucked that down, and it's fantastic.
It is fantastic. Yeah.
Kicking up the dust, though. Yeah. Great stuff. This is the last one I had pulled here.
Oh,
Classic cover. X-Men 95.
so when's this from again? This from the
78.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, it was cancelled, wasn't it, for a while, X-Men?
Yeah, for a little bit. They canned the title and then they started reprinting it on a bi-monthly basis, and with the Warner Roth material, and the Warner Roth material was selling more in reprints than what it was originally.
And they gave it Neil Adams to go berserk with his layouts, didn't they? Just before they cancelled it, and
Right at the end of the run, yeah.
Some of that, especially that panel with Cyclops when it's got the beam coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Never seen anything like that in a comic before. That was fantastic.
That ape. I'm surprised it didn't sell 1 million with an ape on the front.
There
He's
you
got
go.
great ears as well.
Yeah.
Look at the way he's extended his arm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's the Animan. Count Nefarious or something like that. Created a bunch of mutant animals. Where there was a Daredevil, the first Daredevil annual, I think, has them all, the ape, the hawk, and the cat all in suits. These are more Isle of Dr. Moreau type stuff, or the frog. Yeah, frog, the cat, and the ape. Frog's in the background there fighting Nightcrawler.
Which X-Man died?
Thunderbird.
Never heard of him.
That's why because he died.
Because I wasn't reading comics then. That's probably why.
Well, see, Giant Size 1 comes out and has Xavier go around the world. The original X-Men team is all captured by a mutant island, Krakatoa. And so Xavier runs around the world and collects all this menagerie of characters. Storm from Africa, Colossus from Russia, Nightcrawler from Germany, Wolverine from Canada, and Banshee from Ireland, Sunfire from Japan, and Thunderbird here from the American West.
Oh, I see. So
No
that's how it all happened.
stereotypes in there then.
No
No.
stereotypes at all. No.
None
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Very, very much so. But it was the
That's-
first, the first instance of true DEI.
So is that where the Krakatoa came from in the most recent stories?
I'm sure it is, but
Yeah.
I haven't read them to
No, well, I'm not going to read them. No.
guarantee you that. Anyway, they find out that they end up going to the island that the X-Men went to, and they find out that the entire island's a mutant. So
That's
The
the island of
mutant
Dr.
island.
Moreau, isn't it?
huh? Yeah.
the
Then they rescue the old team, and then they talk about what they're going to do. And they pick up the numbering again on X-Men with 94 because Giant Size 1 sold as big as it did. So they started with new material in X-Men 94, and they've carried that on. And then 94 and 95 was a 2-part story, and Thunderbird sacrifices himself for the good of the team, though he's got an attitude pretty close to what they a little meaner almost than Wolverine. They're in those 2 issues. He doesn't want to be there, and neither does Sunfire either. But Sunfire's from Japan, and he's always had that attitude too. But begrudgingly, Thunderbird kind of sacrifices himself and dies, and they're all freaking out that.
And they've never brought him back.
Yeah, they brought back his brother
Oh,
later on, called him Thunderbird. But during this period also, yeah, Thunderbird too.
Thunderbird too.
But they had at this point they had a rough time, of kind of a reputation of killing off all their Native American characters. They'd create a Native American character just to kill him. And Thunderbird was a prime example of that.
Was his secret identity Virgil Tracy?
Yes. No, it was just it was a lot of writing coincidences at that point, but it was kind of odd that every Indian character on there in Marvel would always end up dead. So,
Did he wear a red jumper?
it's blue and red with the little fringes there on the shoulders and a couple feathers in his hair. Yeah, no stereotype at all there. But yeah, this is just classic stuff from Dave Cockrum. I think Dave even inked that cover over top of GIL. I know he inked the cover for Giant Size 1 over top of GIL Kane. That's a classic cover. Everybody's seen before. Very iconic. But yeah, this is kind of a favorite of mine growing up because I had such a hard time finding this issue. The X-Men books weren't distributed very well. Initially, they didn't have that big of a print run. Right. And so I had to order this particular issue out of Canada and didn't get it until like 98 was already out. So.
What's the girl in the black uniform called at the top?
Storm?
Storm. Is that Storm?
Yeah.
Storm, yeah.
I saw a video the other day that was supposed to be a male character named Typhoon. And they ended up deciding to go with a female and then make her more exotic. They had her as an African.
Exotic.
Called her Storm, yeah. More unusual.
Makes sense.
For the time.
Makes Marvel sense.
Yeah.
Female Silver Surfer.
Well,
make her black. It'll work.
It's not the comics. Right. Yeah.
She ended up becoming a great character.
Very wasted potential. They should have given her her own title when they gave Wolverine her own title. Then they punked her out, which I thought was absolutely stupid. They should have never done that. Gave her a mohawk and dressed her up in black
why are you
leathers.
doing that?
Oh, don't do that.
Keep her the way she was. Yeah.
Yep. And they already had a full, they made a full origin on her that I thought was pretty hot. She grew up as a thief in Egypt and was stumbled across her powers and started using it in order to just get by. and then Xavier picks her up and teaches her to. But basically, they all over the period of the early X-Men books, all decide to be heroes more than just individuals.
Do you see that Solid JJ video have you seen those Solid JJ videos?
Mm-mm.
No, they're just cut. They're like old snippets of old comic strips.
Okay.
Old comic cartoons, actually. And this guy voices over them. They're very, very funny. Very, very funny. And they had one with Magneto and Professor X. And he's like, right, now I'm going to kill you. He says, you're not really like this. What do you mean you're not really like this? He says, well, you're not really Jewish. He said, well, yeah, I was in the war and all the rest of it. And he's like, no, I just put all that stuff in you. When I first met you, you were really kind of upset. So I thought I'd put some stuff in your mind that made you feel like you had a reason to be upset. And then all of the characters come out and they're like, no, Wolverine, no, you're just an arsehole. I just put that stuff in there to make you feel better. And then right at the end, Scott Summers comes out and goes, I knew that stuff when the police turned up and all those hookers were dead and the blood and everything's like, no, I didn't put anything in your head, Scott. I don't know what you're talking about.
Funny.
Solid JJ is the name of the channel. It's hysterical. It's just brilliant Justice League stuff. Very, very funny. Very funny.
Cool. Yeah. That's all I pulled aside for Gil Kane covers. Everybody out there, if you've got a favorite, let us know. It's a little bit of traction here. Grim Squeaker. 627. They almost ran out of room for the logo on that one. Yeah, on a couple of them. Yep.
There you go.
That's all I got. Skip Edwards knew it. It says, hey, what's a Gil Kane? I hope we've answered that for you. If you've got a favorite Gil Kane cover out there, make sure you let us know. Leave a comment. Any type of interaction you have with this program just goes to help our algorithm, helps us get seen and recommended, especially with crazy YouTube and their goofy algorithm.
Crazy YouTube.
Every little bit helps. There we are.
Did Gil Kane draw the Avengers? I know he did Spider-Man and Cap. Did he draw the Avengers?
Surely he must have done one.
I don't think he ever did a regular one. I know he didn't do a regular run.
He didn't do Fantastic Four, did he? Never got that one.
No. He is not attributed with an Avengers at all.
No? Wow.
Nope. Or a Fantastic Four, according to his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
All-Star Western, Atari Force, Atom, Batman, Blue Beetle, Boy Commandos.
Wow.
Captain Action, DC Challenge, DC Comics Presents with Johnny Thunder and Rex the Wonder Dog. Yeah, exactly. Detective Comics for a little while. Did a run on Batman for a bit, right during the TV show days. Doomsday, Fallen in Love. There we are. It's got stories in Falling in Love, The Flash, Girls Love, Girls Romance, Green Lantern.
Falling in Love, The Flash.
Yeah. Falling in Love, Fanboy number 2. Hawk and Dove, 3 to 6. He took over after Ditko left. House of Mystery, Hopalong Cassidy, House of Secrets. Metal Men for a couple of issues. Showcases, of course, Green Lantern, Atom. Static, number 31, Strange Adventures for a bunch of different stories. New Adventures of Superboy, Superman. A lot of Superman material. Sword of the Atom, Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, Tales of the Wilderness Sea, 1987. Teen Titans, number 19 and 22 through 24. I think that's the first run back in the 60s. And then Titans Volume 2, number 12 from 97. Time Warp, Vigilante, Weird Mystery Tales, Weird Western Tales, Western Comics, Witching Hour, World's Finest, and Young Romance.
Did some stuff. There's no Conan on there.
Malibu. That's the DC stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
He did Tintin from number 202 to number 205 back in 1979.
Wow. I wonder
Huh.
if he did it in the style of Hergé.
I don't know. It says Jason Drum. So that might be it's Tintin magazine. So that there might have been a Jason Drum feature in there.
Strip in there, right? Okay.
Yeah. For Marvel, Adventures into Terror, Adventure into Fear, Adventures into Weird Worlds, Amazing Spider-Man for quite a run, Astonishing Tales with Kazar, Captain America, Captain Marvel, 17 through 21, Conan, quite a run, Creatures on the Loose, Daredevil, quite a run, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, Sons of the Tiger, number 23, Ghost Rider, Giant Size Defenders, number 2, yeah, it's a classic story with the Grandmaster, and Daredevil crossed over into that. Giant Size Superheroes, number 1 with Spider-Man, Man-Wolf, and Mobius. I remember that book. Inhumans, 5 through 7. Invincible Iron Man, 43 through 50. John Carter, 1 through 10. Journey into Mystery, Jungle Action, Volume 2. Kazar, Cull, Lovers, number 58. Marvel Comics Presents with Two Gun Kid. Marvel Fanfare, Marvel Heroes, Marvel, Micronauts, 40 through 45.
He's done so much.
Just done a run, yeah.
His hand has been everywhere, isn't it?
Yep.
It's just amazing.
Run of Savage Swords, Run of Savage Tales.
Yeah, I've got a couple of covers here.
From there. All right.
That one. That I think is Kane.
Up there. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this one is as well, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not 100%
looks like
sure on that.
If that's Kane penciling, it looks like Romita inked it.
Yeah, Romita inking. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. This has been a layout.
It might have been Romita all together. Yeah, that's definitely Kane.
Definitely. And then the one that is like so overtly Kane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Yeah.
That's later Kane when he's inking himself with those thick pens. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like Ragnarok.
Shaking.
No.
Simonson.
Simonson, yeah.
It's a bit. I think that's a bit Simonson. Actually.
Yeah. I can see that where you'd see that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Ragnarok and roll.
That too. Folks, we deeply appreciate you watching us today. That's a whole set of GIL Kane covers. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. And to answer a little, not quite, I wouldn't call it a complaint, but a suggestion from a fan, we're going to start covering a little bit more independence since we're on the Independent Comics Network, ICN. And we'll try to run some more indie comics here real soon. So in fact, I'm thinking of devoting all of July to independent comics.
Coolio.
We'll see how that goes. I got some long boxes to dig through and some oddball comics that nobody has seen in many decades to show off. So stay tuned for that on Comics by Night. On Sunday Funnies. Let me find it here, wherever it ran off to. We're looking at Superman. From the, there it is. We're looking at the book Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Some excellently classic Superman stories. We're going to keep going through that on Sunday. That's Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday Funnies. Found this book the other day too that we'll probably go through here pretty soon. This is Love to 10. And it is a collection of the Zap comics of Robert Crumb.
Right.
Ooh.
Can you show that?
I'm pretty sure we can show most of it. It's got some stereotype stuff in it. And an occasional nipply or two, but other than that.
They're comic nipplies, though.
Yeah, they're comic.
They're not realistic nipplies.
They almost look like baby bottle nipplies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's classic stuff. Just ran across that book on a shelf. In fact, it's water damaged and beat up a little bit, and it's got that great attic musty smell. It's got
Well, there you go. That's independent.
Coffee stain in the middle. Yeah, it'll be great.
Real.
It's real. We'll look through that sometime soon. If there's anything you want us to take a look at out there, folks, that we haven't covered already, check our archive first. Leave us a suggestion. We'll be more than happy to entertain it and consider it, take it under consideration. And, I think that's it. Russ, you can tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me right here. There you go. Go to russleach.com. Sign up for the email list there so you can find out more about the Atlantean. And from russleach.com, all my connections, all my social medias, they're all there. Go subscribe to Comic Book Black Belt. The channel is very close to 1,000, which would be really nice if we could get there. But most important, sign up for that newsletter, russleach.com.
Yeah. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me here on Friday mornings and Sunday afternoon with Randy and Russ and other people. But if you go to Amazon, you'll find all my books on there. I've got lots of books, 12 books, lots of magazines, all kinds of stuff. If you go to Fund My Comic, you'll be able to pick up Hatch. And just Google my name and lots of stuff will come up. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere. There
you go. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at Arrow Comics. Look at Barnes & Noble and Amazon, criticalblast.com for the Atlantean. All sorts of stuff there. Deeply appreciate you stopping by. The campaign for it, Volume 3 of the Atlantean will be over at Fund My Comics in the middle of July. So keep your eyes open for that. It's going to be a great book. Very, very proud of that script. I'm currently scripting Volume 4 as we speak, as Russ finishes the artwork for Volume 3 for the Atlantean. And I think that's it. So thanks, everybody. Everybody in the chat there, Grim Squeaker and Skip and Levi. Glad you were here. The folks out there, we know that a lot of us, a lot of the folks that watch us after the fact. We deeply appreciate you as well. If you enjoy this program, spread the word. Let folks know we look at great stuff like this and have for the last few years. A wide variety of material, best of the best, because this is the stuff that inspires us, that keeps us going, and helps us along. And we've learned a lot as we've done these over the years. So and it helps us become better artists. And we hope the same goes for you guys as well. If you love comics, tell people what you love about comics. You don't have to be trolling and drama and all of that negativity online. Troll and spite marketing only goes so far, and then it starts declining and spreading off, and the bitterness just pervades where it should be positivity. This is an entertainment industry. We're here to help people escape and to lose themselves in our worlds, and hopefully with the aid of our imagination. And trolling and drama does nothing to aid that. And it might help your sales out momentarily, but it'll come around to bite you on the ass in the end. So try to be positive out there about comics. Give comics as gifts. Go visit your local retailer, because your local retailer right now is having a real rough time keeping their lights on, even, especially with all the distribution BS that's happening left and right. Mm-hmm. And your indie comics there at your retailer as well are having an especially rough time, because they've gotten kind of the double screw from Diamond. So they're going to be really hurting over the next few months trying to recover those losses. So go visit your local retailer, look at those boxes in his back stock that maybe not a whole lot of people look through. You'd be amazed at the quality and just the great entertainment value that those boxes contain. And if you find something great, tell people about it. Jump up on your social platforms and be more social than anti-social. So, and tell folks what you love, especially if you find something good, because right now folks need that escape, and we need to provide it. So is there anything else by independent alternative comics, especially ours?
Especially ours, yeah.
Try to leave this industry in better shape than what you found it, folks. Lord knows it could use it. Until next time, then,
See ya.
Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be back here again next Friday morning at 5 a.m. live with some more great stuff and on Comics by Night. And we'll see you then as we go out the door and leave the words of a wise man who says, don't let Sean Connery teach your dog to sit.
Yes. Yes. Now, Rover. Shit.
Thanks so much for watching us, folks. We deeply appreciate you. What were you going to say, Glenn?
Where's the Appalachian girl?
The Appalachian girl, we got her today. Word of the day. We got one of each. Let me find it. There we are. Here we are.
Hi, y'all. It's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is Budweiser. Yeah, she's really sweet and I like her, but why's her voice sound like that?
There we go. See you on Sunday, folks. Hopefully see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Be kind.
How's Vidania?
We'll see you soon. He said scrolling upwards. Here we are. Where is it? There it is.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
Hello, motherfucker. Fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Fuck off, you fat pig. Hey, Ralph.
Hello.
Bitch.
No.
What the fuck?
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant
Dick!
Yeah.
Take a look out of starboard.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker!
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Willie. Yeah. What's that? Well, it looks like a giant...
Penis, the male reproductive organ, also known as tallywhacker, schlong, or...
Wiener? Any of you kids want another wiener?
Dad? What's that?
I don't know, son, but it's got great, big... Nuts! Hot, salty nuts! Who wants some? Lord Almighty!
That looks just like my husband's.
One-eyed monster! Step right up and see the one-eyed monster! Hey, what's that? It looks like a big...
Woody! Woody Harrelson? Can I have your autograph?
Sure, no problem. Oh, my Lord. Look at that thing.
So big.
Oh, I've seen bigger. That's just a little prick. It's a flu shot.
In the time before Atlantis sank, when the lands of this world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny, seizing his place as a king. After defending his throne and learning the devastating truth of the Serpent Kingdom and its deadly cults, King Kull and his right hand ruled the Spear Slayer, make a solemn vow to hunt down and destroy the hidden empire of these serpent demons. These are the tales of those journeys. This is the Atlantean. Tales inspired by the brilliance of Robert E. Howard, featuring his first barbarian characters as introduced in the pages of his classic tale, The Shadow Kingdom. Each volume contains beautifully painted covers and around 50 pages of original black and white art and story, featuring classic sword and sorcery adventures you don't want to miss. Join us on these epic adventures and sign up now for news with the email list at russleach.com. Bring your axe and prepare for battle.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.